All right.
No one's on. Okay, are you good?
Well, no, I need you to stay here because when Carly comes
When is Carly coming on?
any second. Awesome. People are coming on. Hey, Callie Ferris. Love it. So help me with when. Is that Carly?
No. Back some random.
Hold on, people. I just hung up with Carly. She's coming in a minute. Hi, Callie. I love you. Hi, Janelle. Love it. Do you think that was Carly? How do
No,
you?
it said back.
Okay. I have my daughters here helping me. A shocker.
Don't show me.
Don't you want to jump on this bad boy? Come on. I'm just kidding. Is this, see, here's a request. Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's the girl.
That's Carly?
No, it's...
There we go. Request. There's Carly. Add. Okay. All right. Here's our girl. Hey, girl.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. I'm telling you, this is like a 48-year-old trying to figure out how the hell to do this program.
I know it's literally every device that things are people are using these days.
I know, right? I know. So, hey, so tell me how you spending your quarantine time? Like, how's it going? I mean, for an athlete that's gone hard all your life, and now all of a sudden it's like boom, screeching halt. How
Yeah,
you
it's
spending your time?
it's crazy. I guess it's probably been 3-4 weeks already now. We concluded our She Believes Cup, which was in the middle of March.
Uh-huh.
That's when everything started to get real. We finished our game against Japan, and the I think few players from the NBA contracted COVID-19, and then the NBA shut down. I literally flew home from Dallas, where we played, went to Atlantic City, did an appearance, and then everything every day just kept getting canceled.
Right.
And that was the start of it. So for
Yeah.
the first week or so, it was okay because I had planned to kind of take some time off and let my body rest, let my mind rest.
Yeah.
But then the second week, it kind of resumed a little bit, and the Olympics were kind of up in the air. So I think
Yeah.
I was a little stressed out. I'm not going to lie about
Yeah.
what was to come, but I've just been literally hanging out at home, training, spending time with my husband, cooking, just really trying to soak it all up.
Well, I love, you talk when you came on my podcast, we talked about empty the tank, right? You're saying of kind of empty the tank. And then I saw you posted and talked a little bit about, just sort of the pause and how important it is to pause. How are you marrying those two things, right? And an athlete's mindset that's gone hard all your life, and then sort of marrying it with sort of there's so much power in pausing at times, right?
Mm-hmm.
How you doing that? Leaning into that as a hard charger and as you are.
Uh, I'm soaking it up. I mean, I think that there's a lot of things right now that are out of our control. I hate to say that, I'm enjoying this pause of life because it's come under such terrible circumstances.
Sure.
Thankfully, I still have a job. I have a roof over me. My husband and I are healthy.
Yeah.
There's, I think everybody's affected in some way, shape, or form, and some more than others. But for me, right now I'm really kind of taking it all in and enjoying it because I don't think that I've ever had this much
Right.
of a pause in life where
Totally.
literally there's nothing to worry about except
Right. Right.
I do have a good training situation right now, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's all my focus is.
Yeah.
So it's been really nice, and I think it's a
Yeah.
bit of normalcy for someone like myself,
Yeah.
I'm literally popping home every couple of weeks, and then home for a little, on the road, off the road.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
it's been good. I've been trying to make the most of it.
How are you staying sharp mentally and physically, right? I mean, like I know for business people, too. It's such a weird cadence right now. It's such a weird rhythm. Staying sharp. I mean, obviously for you, it's the physical component, less so for business people who I think are trying to stay away from the fridge, right? But
Yeah.
how are you staying sharp? I mean, what's your rhythm every day? Like, how are you navigating that?
I don't. The only thing that's routine really right now is my training.
Okay.
Thankfully, my coach and mentor James, who I've been working
Yeah.
with since 2003, he just happened to get his own facility, like literally a week before all this kind of happened.
Wow.
So
Huge.
everything got finished up. The turf was put in, and literally
Wow.
it was perfect timing. So I go there pretty much five days a week. I also am running on my own, obviously by
Okay.
myself,
Sure.
at a field, and then I have a track that I go to. So aside from afternoon training, I don't wake up to an alarm. I just get
Right.
up when I get up, have a cup of coffee, enjoy my morning. We have a gym in our basement, so
Okay.
I've got everything I need there, which
Yeah.
is great. And yeah, it's I probably would have to say that I'm probably getting in better training, and I'm
Wow.
improving more than I ever have in my career
Wow.
because of the repetition and because of the time and because honestly I don't have anything else to worry about. I don't have
Sure.
scheduling conflicts. I don't have to leave for
Right.
national team camp. I don't have
Yeah.
games on the road.
Yeah.
I just can hone in and focus. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
for me personally it's been good,
Yeah.
which again under these circumstances it's
Sure.
it's tough.
Sure. Sure. What about, like, tell me a little bit about when you found out about the Olympics being postponed and, kind of how'd you get your head around that? How are you navigating that moving forward? Do you know what I mean? I mean, obviously that's an exciting moment, time to anticipate. And then you get this phone call or you get the word?
It was a big elephant in the room for quite some time. Everything had
Yeah.
been canceled, and if it hadn't been canceled, it was going to be getting canceled. So
Right.
it was just the big elephant in the room. What's going to happen? There was obviously then some pressure put on from some athletes and different organization um, in that regard. So I was just kind of waiting to see. I was hearing some rumors of the potential of postponement. I didn't want it to get canceled altogether, and I
Yeah,
thought that
totally.
to cancel the Olympics would obviously be devastating for
Sure.
so many different people. So it's a tough one because the NBA they play every year. Hockey, all these leagues play every year, but an
Hmm.
Olympics is every 4 years. You
Right.
prepare vigorously, and you have your some with some sports and some athletes they have the time where they're supposed to peak, and
Yeah.
and it's a very detailed training. So when it finally got postponed, I was actually quite excited, to be honest. I mean, I would
Really?
have loved to have competed this summer.
Yeah.
I think every athlete would have, but under these
Oh,
circumstances, the world's a mess.
sure.
There's been people contracting this virus and then not
Right.
making it through, and
Hmm.
the economy's bad. People are losing jobs, business. I mean, it's just down the line. Healthcare, personnel working,
Sure.
around the clock. It's just, it's in the best interest for everybody to push
Yeah.
this on for another year, and
Yeah.
gives me another year to get better, push
Yeah.
barriers, continue to
Which it
get
sounds like
fit,
you're
whatever.
doing. You're killing it.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm taking advantage of this time.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. So, like, you've been through a lot of it. I mean, you've been through adversity, right? To get where you are, it isn't easy. You've been through adversity, obviously, along the way. What do you tell people right now who, I mean, this is really hard for so many people. What do you do mentally to navigate tough moments, to navigate tough times? Do you know what I mean? And what do you tell people? Because there's a lot of people, it's tough, for a lot of people.
Yeah, people are losing jobs. People
Right.
can't afford to put food on the table.
Sure.
Small businesses going out of business. I mean, it's bigger than sports. It's bigger than the
Right.
Olympics. It's a really sad time what's going
Hmm.
on, and
Hmm.
I don't know how long it's going to take some people and some businesses in this country and the economy bounce back. I mean, it may take a really long time, but the one thing I try to always do in any difficult situation is, you got to kind of make the most of it, and hope that, down the line, down the road, something good will come of this. But I think if you kind of flip your thinking and controlling what you can control, obviously, don't get discouraged. Hopefully the big bailout money is getting to those people that desperately need. So it's tough. It's stressful. I can't imagine being in that position of, losing a job and not being able to make ends meet. I mean, it's people's livelihoods, and it's super sad. Super sad.
No, yeah. But you've been through moments like that, right? Whether it's inside of a game or whatever, and you've recovered, right? And it's possible. I think it's a lot about what you tell yourself, right? I mean, you're incredibly mentally tough, right? So it's what do we tell ourselves in these times at some level, right? And controlling the controllables, right? I think I always hear athletes talk about, when I was an agent, control the controllables. I mean, you can't control calls on the field, right? But you can control effort, you control attitude, right? So to me, controlling the controllables right now is huge, isn't it? In your mind?
And there's really everything's out of our control, except for social distancing and or physical distancing. I kind of like the physical.
I know, dude. I do the same. I'm
better.
I agree. I don't like this. We're not social distance right now. We're physically. I agree.
Exactly. Just having to do your part. But it's tough. But then on the flip side, you have to change your mindset to think that we may never ever get this time ever again.
No question.
People are spending more time with their kids, with their spouses, at home. Being able to take care of jobs that they have around the house. And we as Americans, I think live, a very busy life. Everybody does. You have sports, you have, jobs, you have so many different things that you have to worry about.
Yeah.
I would like to say that the Europeans kind of do it a bit better than we do. They take vacations, they take holidays.
Yeah. They go home in the middle of the day and drink wine. Exactly. Man, I'm into that.
So we all have to embrace this time, because life moves really, really fast, and before you know it, we're old, and you can't get this time back. So I've been really just trying to kind of enjoy it, take walks, and just enjoy the beauty of nature. I mean, we live out in the woods, so it's very peaceful here, and I get to kind of take some walks with my husband.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, dude, I got to ask, right? So, like, you're splitting the uprights at the Eagles stadium. Tell me give me inside of this NFL deal, right? Because I'm thinking it's got promise. Is this tell me where your head is with this.
Not in it right now at the moment. Okay. I mean, obviously, we all don't know when we're going to resume normal life. Yeah. If and when that comes, when that gets lifted. So with the Olympics being pushed another year, and I'm going to focus on soccer, finish out my career. Sure. And, there's not to say that I won't, take up the opportunity in the future. Yeah. But I think with this whole, pandemic going on right now, obviously the NFL is, supposed to kick off on time, but we don't know. Sure. So I'm going to just kind of, sit back and focus on soccer right now at the moment. And then we'll see what happens. Anything's possible in the future.
So if you had to get quarantined with anybody on the national team, who would it be? Give me some scoop.
I would probably say Crystal Dunn.
Okay.
She's just a boatload of fun.
Is she?
She's always smiling, always making people laugh. Yeah. She'd be probably dancing in front of me every second she could get.
If she likes to dance?
She loves dancing. Yeah.
Okay. Is she good?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
She's got moves.
Okay,
yeah.
She got moves. Okay.
Yeah.
So she'd be fun to hang with.
She would.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been training with Julie Ertz, so she comes and trains
Okay.
with us.
Okay.
So I've seen her. So I can't say that I've
Okay.
necessarily been quarantined with her, but
Yeah. Yeah.
we've been training together, which has been great.
That is awesome. So what have you learned about yourself through, this kind of super weird, odd window of time? Have you uncovered anything, or, you know what I mean?
I have, yeah. Life is pretty simple. I think we make it complex.
Mm-hmm.
We think that we need so many different things to fulfill us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's no live sports on right now.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
really nothing you can do besides staying home in your house.
Yeah.
It forces you to kind of enjoy
Yeah.
the moment, enjoy the beauty of the world, and not take anything for granted. I think that's
Sure.
a big thing. So I've been busy lately, and my
Yeah.
schedule's been insane, and it's the constant planning appearances,
Mm-hmm.
scheduling shoots with my sponsors,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
fitting that in with my training schedule, and then my
Mm-hmm.
game schedule. And I was not to say I was gonna break, but I was busy, and I was
Mm-hmm.
very busy in March and April with everything getting postponed and some things canceled on my schedule. It's just given me a whole new life.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
recovered. I feel rested. My
Yeah.
mind feels at ease. And knowing that, Olympics and all these other things, I just have to just try to be better every single
Mm-hmm.
day,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
everything should be hopefully back to normal at some
Mm-hmm.
point.
Mm-hmm. Sarah asked here in our conversation, Sarah asked, what advice do you have for young players right now? Young players who are trying to become the next Carli Lloyd, right? And inside of this window of time, and maybe just overall, what advice do you have for Sarah and others?
I would say I've been very, very impressed by the amount of kids who have become creative.
Uh-huh.
They can't go anywhere. They have
Yeah.
no team training. And I don't think I've seen as many kids doing things on their own,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's kicking a ball up against the wall, shooting out back with their
Mm-hmm.
siblings,
Mm-hmm.
using a rebounder, juggling. It doesn't take much. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that, everybody kind of gotten away from the training on your own
Mm-hmm.
and being
Mm-hmm.
creative,
Mm-hmm.
to now having to do it, and almost
Yeah.
being forced to do it and forced to
Sure.
figure out,
Yeah.
how are you going to make this work? So
Yeah.
I would say, continue that. The juggling, if you have a wall or
Yeah.
a basement, knocking the ball up against the wall. If you have a rebounder, practicing your touches, and
Mm-hmm.
just get creative. It doesn't take a lot of equipment. I used to use trees in my backyard when I was younger and shoot
Did
through
you?
them. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you just have to get creative.
Yeah.
But it's all about clocking in those hours.
For sure, touching the ball. What do another question is, somebody asked, which I know we talked about this on our show. Where did empty the tank come from? Somebody asked that question, which I love that story that you told me on our show.
Yeah, good question. So when I first started training with my coach, mentor, James, in
Yeah.
2003, it had been after I was cut from the under 21 national team, was going to quit.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very long, or this is very
It's an
short,
awesome
shortened
story, though.
story.
Yeah.
And, my dad, he happened to be training my brother's team. My dad said, my daughter's about to quit the sport of soccer. We obviously don't want that to happen. So my dad asked him, if he could work with me. So
Mm-hmm.
he gave my dad his card, and it took me about 2 weeks to call him back. So when I finally called him back, we started, we did a physical evaluation, a technical evaluation, and he, asked me what some of my goals were, what I wanted to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we started talking, the theme is every single training session, every single game, every single moment on the field when I'm training on my own,
Mm-hmm.
all he asks is that I just empty the tank. I just give it everything that I have. If it's, 80%, I give 80% on that day. But, you want to strive for 100% every single day. And you're not going to always feel amazing every single
Right.
day. But the most
Right.
important thing is whatever you have in you,
You give it.
just empty it. Just
Yeah.
empty the tank. And so that kind of stuck with me all those years. And, every time I called him after I was with the national team, we talk about how the practice went. And the only thing he asked me was, did you empty the tank? Were you the hardest working player there every single day? So that kind of just stuck with me until it became my normal and something that I do without even thinking.
Yeah.
And
it.
so I've decided to kind of create some shirts on my online
I know, I
store.
saw them, dude. They're awesome. Yeah.
So it's cool, and it's just a good reminder for other people to obviously, they empty the tank on there, they see it, and it's just a good reminder for them to, if you're doing a presentation at work, or if you or a doctor or a nurse, or you play the violin, just gotta empty the tank every day.
Yeah, dude, I love it. I love it. Maddie asked, how do you deal with pressure? How do you deal with pressure? How do you navigate it?
I think, for me, preparation breeds confidence.
Sure.
The more you prepare, the more you're ready, the more confident you are. And essentially that leads to being able to handle pressure. You've got to embrace the pressure. Now there's some people who embrace the challenge.
Carli. He froze, dude. Hello, Carli. Hold on, here she comes. Just a sec, guys. Hold on, here we go. Here we go. Hey, girl.
Hey there. So what I've learned is Instagram kicks you off every now and again. If
I
there's
know,
too many
right?
people.
Yeah, is that what happens?
Yeah, it's happened to me on one other live chat that I've done.
Because you're so big time, dude.
Yeah.
So pressure.
Yeah, so pressure. So yeah, there's some people that obviously thrive a bit more under pressure. But there's definitely a formula in that to prepare. You've got to be prepared, and you've got to be willing to perhaps fail or not do as well, which in turn makes you stronger down the line, which in turn makes you able to embrace future pressure, that you may have. So I would say, definitely have to prepare. You've got to be confident, and you've got to kind of invite that pressure and not be afraid of making a mistake or not being afraid of failing.
What would you tell seniors, right? Like we've had a couple questions like that, right? Seniors that their season's been banged, right? And they're, what do you, I'm sure you've had this question before. What is your advice to them as they try to navigate moving forward?
It's tough. I mean, so many people's lives were kind of just uprooted with everything, whether it was your first year in kindergarten, whether you were graduating middle school or you're graduating high school, or you missed out on your prom and graduations and senior trips. There's so many different things. And, like I said, all of this is out of our control. We really can't control this, but you just have to make the best of it.
Sure.
You can't get back time, but you can just embrace the moment, find something else to fill your void if that's possible. And just be excited for what's to come. You're still young, and loads of things to look forward to.
Absolutely. So what advice do you have for parents? You know, parents, I mean, my husband and I have 3 teenage daughters, right? I mean, who are used to running around like maniacs, taking their kids to one sporting event after another, attending, but also with some structure for their kids around their sport. And now, you know, it's up to certainly the child, go out and shoot baskets, go out and, you know, what would you tell parents right now? We talked about this a little bit on my podcast too, but what would you tell them to try to help, you know, navigate this window of time for their kids?
Yeah, I think you know, I think a lot of kids are obviously doing the virtual online schooling at the moment. I
Sure.
think it's kind of all different between, you know, schools and states and all that. But
Right.
if you've got that, you know, you've got a little bit of structure and
Yeah.
something. But I would say for parents, you know, you can't helicopter. You know, you
Right.
can't
Totally.
be on them and telling them they have to go out and practice. Just encourage it, empower them to want to do it on their own.
Yeah.
You know, give them a little nudge, but I think ultimately it has to be the kid's decision. But
Yeah.
I think, you know, another thing, if you're able to and go outside, riding bikes or taking a family walk, to just do things. But I think the most important thing is just spending time together.
Yeah.
Like you said, you know, you're racing around, your husband's racing around, your kids are
Sure.
being pulled in so many different
Totally.
directions.
Totally.
When do you guys ever, you know, find that you're all together
I know.
for a month?
Right.
May even be longer. Who knows?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, just enjoy it, but you know, don't get on them too much. It's
Yeah.
already a hard enough thing
Yeah.
that the kids are having to face right now, missing
Yeah.
out on so many different things.
Yeah. So one last question, then you need to go drink wine and hang out with your husband. What keeps you motivated? I mean, you've had an incredible amount of success, right? I mean, you know, in kind of at your space in your own life. What's keeping you motivated and keeping you going? I mean, I know you love the game. It may just be that, but what's keeping you locked in and motivated?
You know, for love of the game. I mean,
Yeah.
I live and breathe it. I love it. But it's the will that I have inside of me to want to get
Yeah.
better every single
Yeah.
day. You know,
Yeah.
I'm never satisfied with what I've done. I'm always,
Yeah.
you know, telling myself that I can be better, and I embrace those moments of being able to work on things that I'm not good at or challenge myself.
Yeah.
Like right now, for instance, I'm only training with my left foot. I'm doing everything with my left foot
Really cool.
because I have the time and I have the opportunity to, you know, to
Yeah.
just do that. So
Yeah.
every shot I take, every pass I take, every juggle I do, every dribble. And I think that my technique, this is the sharpest I've probably ever been in my entire
Wow.
career.
Wow.
So it's that will to want to just keep getting
Yeah.
better. And, you know, I think one of the biggest things when the announcement of the Olympics was postponed a year,
Hmm.
you know, everyone suddenly wants to say that I'm too old. It's
They
1 year
don't know you
later.
if they're saying that, girl.
It's 1 year later. We're not
Yeah.
talking a whole another
No,
cycle. It's not
exactly.
another 4 years from now.
Totally.
I'm just kind of going up the older I
Sure.
get. You know, I feel really good. I'm efficient. I'm smart. I'm
Yeah.
continuing to push barriers and being fit.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that it's funny when people say that.
Yeah.
But for
Yeah.
me, it's, you know, again, I look at it as another challenge, and age is just a number.
Totally.
And I'm going to prove that to everybody. But most
Yeah.
importantly, I'm going to prove to myself, you know, what I'm capable of. And I've got,
Yeah.
you know, at least most likely another year in
Yeah.
my tank. And I
Oh
want
yeah.
to do everything possible to, you know, to give it everything I've got every single day,
Yeah.
and leave the game knowing that I did all that I could, and I'm
Yeah.
proud, and walk away proud.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, we see it in other sports, right? Whether it's tennis or football with, you know, Roger, with Brady. I mean, yeah, you got this, girl. There's no doubt
Yeah,
about
not
that.
worried.
Yeah,
Not worried.
exactly. So we'll keep crushing it with the left foot. I love
Yeah,
that.
it's
But
fun.
I love what you're saying, right? Because this is a great time to lean into your what are deemed weaknesses
Hmm.
per se, and turn them into strengths, which is
Yep.
awesome.
definitely.
So
Yeah, take advantage of the time. That's
yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, listen, you stay healthy, you stay safe. It's so good to see you.
you too. Yeah, thanks for
And
having me on.
well, you're an inspiration to so many young girls, and I know there's so many young girls listening, and you inspire them. And you know what you do for girls in sports is an incredible thing, because sports is such an incubator for life for all of us.
It
You
is.
know, when I was a student, I mean, it's a powerful, powerful thing, and it's a metaphor for so many things in life, and you leverage that metaphor so well, and help others through what you've accomplished on the field. So,
Appreciate it.
well, stay healthy, keep crushing it, and I'm following you on Instagram, and I love seeing all your stories and all your stuff.
Yeah, appreciate it. Take care, and hope you guys all stay healthy and safe.
No, I will. I will. You too. You be safe, Carly. Thanks so much, girl.
All
Be
right,
safe.
no problem.
All
Take
right.
care.
All right. Big hugs. See you,
Bye.
girl. Okay, bye.